Okay, how about now? No sound now? Sound now, okay. It's probably not as clear because this isn't working. Back to what I was saying. Look, Dr. Mandy Cohen, director of the CDC, is thinking ahead because it's going to be a rough winter because we're going to have 3 bugs. They're looking to have 3 bugs this winter. This is a quote. We're going to have 3 bugs out, 3 viruses, COVID, and of course flu, and RSV. RSV cases are way up. COVID is starting to fall off a little bit. We don't see it at all around here, but they're saying there's been a slight increase in positive cases and a decline in COVID hospitalizations has stalled. So the decline stalled and the positive cases are picking up a little bit. Now, you know, if you follow this channel, how I feel about all that. It didn't matter back when it was going on if you were killed in a motorcycle wreck or you died at 95 years old of old age. They put a tag on your toe that said it was because of the woohoo bat flu. So we don't know. We just don't know. When I get to the malaria story, it's really wild. That was shared from a community member, and I really appreciate it, AM. But we've got, as far as the COVID goes, Omicron XBB subvariants remain the most prevalent. And on Wednesday, the WHO has identified a new XBB version of the woohoo bat flu called the EG.5. It's unclear what EG.5 means. All they know is it's there. I'm not going to bore you with all the lingo. For the first time this fall, the U.S. will have access to vaccines. So if you're into that, there'll be plenty of those. You know, I'm going to do a video on what's going on with like LeBron James, LeBron's son. I believe it was his name. And, you know, he was perfectly healthy playing basketball and had a cardiac arrest. A lot of people collapsing because of blood clots. And I'm not getting on anybody. I know several people that are very close to me that have had the vaccine. But if you want to take more of those, they're coming out. Now, an unexpectedly severe surge of RSV infections in late 2022 has overwhelmed Children's Hospital with babies and young kids whose immune system had not been exposed to the virus during the lockdowns. So, you know, we kept them in that bubble, didn't let them leave the house, and now it's starting to tick up. Stacey wrote me a little note on here that said the drug companies, one in particular, had made $81.9 billion. So they're making good money off those jabs, and they also quit producing other things that we're having a shortage of now. I cannot talk this morning. I got too much coffee. I'm still drinking Hoosier Warrior coffee too, guys. It's really good. Links in the description. Community member came out with a side hustle, and it's really good stuff. So that's that. Now, malaria. It's a big issue, but people are getting vaccinated with mosquitoes now. Crazy. Why somebody would do this? A groundbreaking malaria trial conducted at the University of Maryland School of Medicine took a box of 200 genetically modified mosquitoes and held it up to her arm. And, well, I don't know if it's a her. You got to watch your pronouns around there. But they successfully vaccinated her for malaria. Mosquitoes were bred in a laboratory to carry a specific strain of the malaria parasite that had been weakened through genetic modifications. Then when these mosquitoes bit humans, they injected a weakened parasite into the bloodstream, triggering the immune system to vaccinate the person. All right, the trial involved 4,000 people, and half of whom received the vaccine, half didn't, and now it's working, they say. Now, I'm not going to read too much of this because it's pretty one-sided, but just know it's going on. People are getting vaccinated through mosquitoes, and I don't know who would subject themselves to this and why it's okay to be dumping mosquitoes out in, you know, Florida and places like that, which have now had 4 cases of malaria, the first in 20 years. So that's going on. I didn't sign up for this, guys. I didn't sign up to be a part of their what do you want to call it? Their petri dish. I don't want to try it. I just soon go the way I'm going and not be messed with. But now we've got a lot of mosquitoes in Louisiana, so now we're dealing with this. Okay, this story takes the cake, and this is going to kind of show us what's going on in these other countries that are taking these atheist, immoral, globalist medicines, and they're not even telling them about it. This was shared from AM as well. Thank you. Malawi, Ghana, and Kenya have been targeted for the administration of the RTSS vaccine known as Mosquito. Safety concerns have emerged. Get this. Increased cases of cerebral malaria, and a doubling in the risk of death in girls. If you wanted to, Bill Gates said he wanted to, we're suffering from an overpopulation problem, but if we get everybody vaccinated and get them good and healthy, they don't procreate as much. That's what he's found out. Now, that's strange to me because who wants to procreate, go through the movements when you feel bad? Nobody. And if you feel good, you're more likely to procreate. Let me know if I'm wrong. But the WHO consent process is based on implied consent, meaning recipients are not informed that they are part of the study. You can go to my Twitter page for this story as well. 720 children have been selected to receive the Mosquito vaccine over the next 2 years. There's a high rate for meningitis. It's actually 10 times higher for this vaccine. And I found it concerning that it was targeting young little girls that don't even know they're getting the vaccine. They don't even know. And, it's causing death, a risk of death, doubling the risk of death. So, wow. Know that's going on, guys. And watch out for all the medicine. Now, this came from Dan Bob. Thank you, Dan Bob. I have a lot of people sending me information to fpnetworkinfo@gmail.com. It's just changed. I have a hard time remembering it, but long gone are the days of spontaneous holidays overseas. He's talking about the ETIAS. So if you're planning to go to Europe, you've got to have another piece of documentation. You can't just go now, and they're expecting it to be a really big problem when people show up to the airport and they don't have this ETIAS. It's a travel authorization. It's a visa exempting nationals traveling to 30 European countries. So make sure you don't have to have some type of, it's like a travel document. Papers, please. We're moving into this more and more all the time, where you got to have more credentials, scan your retina, your face, all this stuff to travel. And truth be known, they really don't want you traveling. They want you in a 15-minute city on your foot or a bicycle. Most applicants are processed within minutes, sometime longer. Within 4 days, it could be extended to 14 to 30 days. So you might need to get on this as soon as you even think about going. Go ahead and get your documents if you're going to Europe. Now, news from Australia. Target and Kmart have merged. And that's odd, but it's only in Australia. I had to kind of dig around because this isn't the U.S. But merging in a $10 billion deal, it turns out that Kmart in Australia is still extremely popular. It's not so much here. Hundreds of stores, billions in sales, and thousands of employees. Kmart's owners in America got Kmart stores up and running and in the land down under back in the 1960s. And now they have merged with Target. So it is 2 Australian-based chains. That's about it on the Target story. So Target and Kmart are merging in Australia. Take that for what it is. The next story is San Francisco startup aims to make lab-grown human eggs. Isn't that crazy? Nuts. Biometric startup. Its technology is called vitro. Here we go. Gametogenesis. That aims to create human eggs in a lab. The company's goal is to provide new options for people who face challenges in conceiving and or same-sex couples. So you can take a same-sex couple and take some of their DNA and mix it up in a petri dish, maybe throw some mosquitoes in there, whatever, and then make sure it's all vaccinated and put it in this egg-growing thing, and out pops a human. Nuts. The company has made progress in creating structures called follicles, which are essential for maturing eggs and hoping to achieve proof of concept within a year. Fact is, this stuff's going on. People are trying to play God, and it's not going to work. Orange juice prices have reached all new record highs due to growing concerns and global shortages. So this is just one of the many food shortages that we're going to see. And I know you guys have been preparing, you've been buying your canned goods, and you're, 2, 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, whatever you got, double it, because that stuff stays good for a long time. We've made several videos on that. The price surge on the oranges is attributed to various factors, including weather-related issues, disease outbreaks, and supply chain disruptions. Adverse weather conditions such as hurricane and frost have damaged the crops. Supply chain disruptions, it's a problem. And this happened, all this type of news reminds me of the Great Leap Forward. You had the people in charge making the wrong decision consistently, and you also had acts of God that would he's doing his things, because they had the Great Chinese Famine at the same time. And wound up killing about 65 million people. So, yeah, I don't drink orange juice either. There's a humongous insulin spike, and I'd just rather eat the orange, Now, there's some on Twitter. If you guys are on Twitter, I went over there and was in the comments, and it was about the LeBron James son, and people were saying, it's obvious what it is, what happened, the blood clots in young children and fighting age men. And there was a bot on there that it's called Truth GPT. Have you guys seen these bots on Twitter? They're, oh, look, more misinformation. And you can chat with this thing just like it's a person. And it's under that article, it said, oh, look, more misinformation disguised as breaking news. Let's not jump to conclusions or make assumptions. It's got a skull and crossbones, and it's a bot. This is going to be a bigger problem as we get into it. There was some more about what's going on in Europe, but I'll probably save that for the next video, because I've got some more digging to do on it. Because I can't take stuff at face value anymore. You have to make sure you're not, getting lied to. Because I pray for discernment every day for us, the community, me, Stacey, all of us, because it's getting harder to discern the news. It's getting harder to know what's real, because these sicknesses, as the banks collapse, remember, the powers that be, the few that don't want you to have anything, and want you to rent everything and own nothing. This is part of it. What a better way to shut the economy down. The first bat flu was a big experiment, and they saw how far they got with that. Oh, wait, we can make the banks collapse. They do not want you. See, if you have money, if you do well and you have money, you actually have a voice. You have, you can do things and create things and, take away from markets or put into markets. It kind of gives you power. But if you eat everybody's, I don't want to call it money, but currency away that they've been building in the stock market for years and years and years, so we're hitting all-time highs, and then you get that massive pullback. We're having pensions go belly up. Yellow trucking, the biggest trucking industry ever to go under, they can't pay. These are weak hands that are folding right now. Couple all this with some sickness, banks collapsing. The FDIC can't even get close to covering everybody. If you've got over $250,000 in a bank account, move it. Spread it out. That's crazy. They laughed about it. I made a video with when they were talking about that, and they were just bald-faced, in your face, laughing at us, thinking, no, we don't, FDIC doesn't have the money to cover anything. And they don't. It's a big sham. It's a house of cards. But that's the plan, to take us all the way down to the bottom and put you in a hurt locker, own the food and the farmland, control the money. You control the money, you control everything. So all that's in the works. As these banks fall off, I've been looking at PacWest. I was trying to trade it. It's just too much for me to do. It went straight down. And then the bank that bought them doesn't come to mind, but it's California Bank, Bank of California. Bought them, their stock went up. You know, we've got bigger banks consuming the smaller banks. That's also part of it. You know, the big six. You've got all those people that will take your money from, or your currency, from those accounts that you depend on for your retirement. They could care less. They do not want you to do good. All right? So that's why I always talk about hedging. You know, prepare. You can buy a lot of food with a share of Google. You know, you can, and that stuff, nothing just goes up forever. We're looking at a massive pullback. I've got, you guys saw it the other day, how we're in a recession and we were way down here. I mean, that's fact. They might not want to call it a recession, but we are getting so close to some really, really bad, like people not getting their pensions. And then you've got the CBDC. Well, you can get it if you sign up for the CBDC. If you'll sign up, you know, people are gonna sign up just like that. It's gonna be just like that. There's not gonna be, oh, well, I might not do that, because no, people are gonna jump on board as fast as possible. I don't know why I got my hat on. I'll never wear it inside. I was outside a while ago. Guys, do you have any more about the expiring money? Yeah, well, me too. But we shouldn't worry. You know, we should, you know what? I've got this. I keep a lot of notes in here that I write down for myself. And I'll share one with you. And it is, I was just reading it a while ago. Proverbs 18:15. The heart of a discerning man acquires knowledge. The ears of the wise seek it out. That is why we're here. That's why I make videos. That's why all of us are constantly trying to find out, you know, what's going on and how we can prepare. Proverbs 27:12, you know, look it up. It talks about prudency, danger, and take refuge. The simple keep going and pay the price. It actually says it twice in Proverbs. They're right there together. So I think we should probably listen to that too. And there's a bunch more in here, but I'll save some for the other. Oh, there's a good one. Proverbs 20:15, gold there is, and rubies in abundance, but lips that speak knowledge are a rare jewel. Seek them out, man. Got a super chat. It's not letting me select it. There it is. Electric paper. Can we rip off the Band-Aid and start our own economy on silver and gold? I hope so, man. Thank you for the super chat. That would be awesome. I don't see it happening. Not in the short term. But there's a good chance their little CBDC is going to fail. I think it's like David Morgan said. Thank you, Kurt, for being here. You've been here for a long time. I think making a currency so they can control the velocity of a currency that's already dying and other countries are moving out of. Period. We got China and Russia. You know, China just got through doing 2/3 of all their military drills with Russia. So we've got that going on. And it looks like we've got a war between NATO and BRICS all out. I mean, by the end of September, it is going to look spooky, guys. It is going to be 1st of November, maybe. You know, my timing's always wrong. but man, I don't feel good about it. I'm actually selling quite a few of my stocks. I'm going to keep some small ones that have gone down. A lot of my miners are down. But I'm going to scale out because, as you know, I'm learning how to trade because I'm tired of being the bag holder. You don't have to trade on margin. You don't have to trade futures. You can actually look at the chart and tell when to buy Apple and when to sell it. And you can stop being a bag holder, and you can, cut your losses quick, low down, or take profit and let it go down. And if you're in the course, I'd recommend selling it as it goes down. The course is in the description. I'm doing Crypto Charts Joe, Simplistic Charts Joe's. I really like his, and I also really like Johnny Bravo's and his indicators. They're really cool, but that's my plan for trying to get in this environment. I can't think of a better time to be able to trade, and know what's going on with the charts. And if you follow them, they do it every single day. They call the tops, they call close to the tops, nobody calls the tops, and they call close to the bottoms. I'm actually talking about another uranium stock in August, Sandra. But yeah, I really do like GLDG. I just don't know. I don't know. When everything goes down, everything goes down. And I mean precious metals too. And I'm looking at a massive pullback. Who's that? Oh. All right, guys. I've got some people pulling up that I've got to load some parts up for. So that's exciting. Maybe I'll get paid. Everybody likes payday. So, guys, I'm putting most of this or all of it on Twitter. Financial Prepper, PPR. It goes there first. All the mRNA vaccine news, everything I cannot talk about here, which I'm talking about a little bit because it's kind of, I think everybody is now. But check it out over there. If you just follow just my account, just follow it. You'll get the news before everybody else does because it's a lot of it, because it's just a great place to get news for the moment. I'm not saying Elon's the best and he's looking out for all of us. I'm just saying the faster we can get it, the better we can get in position. We can get into the puck, where the puck's going. Because that's the only thing I know to do. Do like the wealthy. Practice like the wealthy do. And because in this environment that we're moving into, the people that don't have any money are going to have even less. The people that are all strung out, that are barely making their payments now, are about to lose those things. Okay? So get ready. We're starting to see it already. I'm starting to see the used car parking lots slap full of new vehicles. They're nice too. I just got off the phone with a car dealer. He said it's getting bad. My uncle owns a pawn shop and has for 40 years. He said he's never seen it this bad. He thinks he's already in a depression. He said, I said, you think so? He said, I know so. I know we're in a depression. So by the time they quit calling it recession, it will effectively be a depression. So take that for what it's worth. Guys, look at the charts. I want you to go to your stock portfolio and look and see how good you've done. It would be a shame to lose all of it. I'm just saying. All right, just kind of a warning. Who knows, it might go up more. But I've never been able to call the top or the bottom. So guys, have an awesome, awesome day. I'll see you in the next one. Later.